What's up, Mafia? Jalen Hurts is leaning into Sean Mannion's new offense. Saquon Barkley talks taking his game to the next level. Riq Woolen looked like he doesn't belong on the same field as the other cornerbacks. And AJ Brown is nowhere to be found. OTAs just started, and we already have a lot to talk about. So, let's get it mixing. Let's get right into it, because AJ Brown skipped OTAs. According to CBS Philadelphia, he hasn't been at a single workout since April the 20th, day one of the offseason program. That's over a month. But we already know a trade may already be in the works. Multiple teams, including the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Bills, and the Rams, all considered making a trade for AJ Brown. None of them met the asking price. And the only team left standing is the New England Patriots. Jalen Hurts talked to reporters on Wednesday. He said his relationship with AJ Brown is really good, congratulated him on his wedding, and kept it classy. He then went on to talk about their time together in Philadelphia.
AJ's trade, how would that affect the offense? How would that affect you?
Picked the right question to sip on, huh? I think for us, we're focused on learning the offense. It really doesn't change in terms of our approach to improve. There's an if. Obviously been a lingering thing, but nothing can replace all the greatness that we achieved together.
Jalen, a lot's been made of your relationship with AJ in regards to this trade. Where are you two at, I guess? I know friendship and competition.
Yeah, nothing's changed since we last spoke at the end of the season. We're really good, and I saw how beautiful the pictures came out at his wedding. I'm very happy for him and his wife and his family, and it's a beautiful thing to step into covenant. So I was very excited and congratulatory.
To me, this feels like a teammate accepting the situation for what it is and saying goodbye. But the Eagles kept practicing. No drama, no distraction. That tells you about the mentality inside of this locker room. Now stay with me, because what I saw on the practice field is going to change how you feel about this new offense. Here's the first thing I noticed before we even talk about plays. Jalen Hurts showed up wearing a camera on his helmet. This all started at rookie minicamp. Cole Payton wore it first. Sean Mannion introduced it, but Jalen Hurts adopted it himself. All offseason, the narrative has been that Jalen Hurts is uncoachable, that he's the problem, and the first thing we see at OTAs is he puts a camera on his helmet, so Mannion can see the field the exact way that Jalen Hurts does. And that shows you the type of guy that Jalen Hurts actually is. This guy isn't uncoachable. This is a guy who's willing and ready to do anything to win. Even Nick Sirianni had nothing but praise for Sean Mannion, and Jalen Hurts echoed why he believes there will be success with Sean Mannion as the new offensive coordinator.
Sean's here at all hours of the day. I'm not sure I've beat Sean in here yet this year, and I'm not sure I've left earlier than him, or I've always left earlier than him to this point. Like he grinds and he does what he's supposed to do and works really hard at his craft.
It's been a really good process so far. He's come in and he's very clear, giving good direction. You can definitely see the vision. Been able to answer all of my questions. Very instructive, very helpful. So it's been a very enjoyable journey so far. I'm just trying to grow, taking the coaching that I can so I can be the best I can be for the team.
A first-year coordinator never called plays in a regular season game, but the work ethic is already showing up, and that's a good sign for our Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this is the part that made me stop and think for a second. Jordan Davis talked to reporters after practice. He said the new offensive concepts Mannion is installing are the exact same things that gave Fangio's defense trouble last year.
We got started this week going against the offense. I'm sure y'all know that, but it's exciting. It's exciting. A lot of the things that they're doing now is what gave us troubles last year. So to be able to see it in practice and not just see it on a week of the game, that's a lot of experience that we can take for ourselves in defense, get better at that.
Now let that sink in. Your own defensive tackle is telling you the new offense runs the same schemes your defense couldn't stop in 2025. The wide zone runs, the under center play, the motion, the outside zone look. The Bears ran it, the Cowboys ran it, the Niners ran it in the wildcard game. And Sean Mannion, he's installing it all. Mannion is making his team better through all the weaknesses that they had last season. Now add Saquon Barkley into all of that. The Philadelphia Inquirer reported Saquon Barkley reached out to Todd Gurley, This offseason, Gurley won Offensive Player of the Year in 2017 under Sean McVay running the exact same kind of system. Saquon wanted to know how to approach it and how to dominate the system. He also spoke about his eagerness to run more plays under center.
There's a lot of unique things you can do, and yeah, it's not no secret what the system is about, and look forward to doing that. Probably be the most I've ever done it under center too, and outside zone and all that good stuff. But it's a challenge I'm looking forward to work on and getting better at and trying to be the best at it.
Last year, he had 1,140 rushing yards, 4.1 yards per carry. In 2024, 2,005 yards, 5.8 yards per carry. The drop-off was real, and hopefully this change brings back vintage Saquon Barkley. NBC Sports' John Clark noted the offensive line opened up a big hole on Wednesday, and Saquon Barkley exploded right through it. Now, there was no pads, no contact, but the burst is still there. If this offense gets back 2024 Saquon Barkley, the Eagles are a Super Bowl team. Now, don't go anywhere because Hurts Connections on Wednesday told us a lot about who this offense is going to run through. With his passes, Hurts was sharp. He wasn't perfect, but the throws were sharp. He had a tight window throw to Dallas Goedert with Drew McCuba draped all over him. The first target of the day was a hitch route to Devontae Smith. The connection between these two is evident. Makai Lemon, first-round draft pick out of USC, was working with the first team on day one. He dropped one ball on a shallow cross, and it was overthrown, but made several other catches across the middle. NBC Sports Philadelphia said Lemon will likely be the number 2 receiver behind Devontae Smith. And as you can see, they're not wasting time getting him ready for his position. Johnny Wilson was out there too. Missed all of last season with knee and ankle injuries. And it was really good to see him working with the first team offense also. We saw Hollywood Brown in a limited capacity, but the breakaway speed shows immediately. Behind Hurts, Andy Dalton was QB2. Tanner McKee was number 3, and rookie Cole Payton was listed at number 4. And let me tell you, Andy Dalton had a rough day. Veteran cornerback Jonathan Jones picked him off and took it all the way to the crib. Nobody behind Hurts wins you games right now, aside from Tanner McKee in 2024. If Hurts goes down, that's going to be a real problem. But my biggest surprise from day 2 of OTAs had to come from the defense. Let me tell you who walked on the field and made everyone do a double take. And that was newly signed quarterback Riq Woolen. 6'4", 210 pounds. And he moves like he has no business being that big. Jimmy Kempski even said, Woolen looks even taller in person than what he's seen on film. He towers over every other cornerback on this roster. And his height definitely shows up in his play. He broke up an underthrown deep ball to Devontae Smith. Unintentionally, but the height works in his favor. Vic Fangio moved Cooper DeJean to safety in the base defense, just to keep Woolen on the field at all times. Think about that. One of the best young corners in this league moves to a new position so that Woolen never comes off the field. And I'm calling it. This secondary of Mitchell, Woolen, and DeJean could be the best in the entire NFC. Now, let's talk pass rush. Jalen Phillips left for Carolina, $120 million over 4 years. The Eagles answered by trading for Jonathan Grenard. And we finally got our first look at Grenard in Midnight Green. He looked fluid in agility drills. Pair that with Jalen Hunt, who had 6.5 sacks heading into his contract year, and Nolan Smith, who visibly bulked up and is on his 5th-year option. This edge group is deep. And then there's Orr Bernard, 7th-round pick out of Nigeria. Never played a real snap of football in his life. Jimmy Kempski watched him in drills and said Clint Hurt was working with him on the absolute basics. It's a long road ahead, but the ceiling, nobody knows. And that's the great part about this prospect. In other news, Brandon Graham is back per Zach Berman of The Athletic. He's still on the roster, and a new deal should be done very soon. BG knows the system, he knows the city, and he adds a veteran presence to this edge rusher room. And one more thing before we close. The safety spot next to Drew McCuba is still wide open. Reed Blankenship left for Houston, and that hole needs to be filled immediately. Marcus Epps is getting first-team reps right now, but sources expect the Eagles to trade for a safety before the season actually starts. The cap space is there, and the need is clearly there at safety. So, where are we right now with the Philadelphia Eagles? A year ago, the Eagles were Super Bowl champions. Then 2025 happened. The offense ranked 23rd in the league, and we had a wild card exit. Kevin Patullo was fired, thank God, and the best receiver on our team is about to be traded. A lot went wrong. And now, Jalen Hurts is locked in on learning a new offense. Saquon Barkley is planning on taking a massive step forward. Riq Woolen are turning heads on defense, and Makai Lemon is running with the first team on day one. Now, I'm not saying everything is fixed. Mannion has never called a play during a regular season game. The safety room is a real concern, and A.J. Brown is most likely gone. Those factors exist, but this team doesn't look broken. They look motivated, and a motivated Eagles team is dangerous for the entire NFL. Now, I want your opinion, and drop it in the comment section. Do you trust Sean Mannion, and can the Eagles win a championship without A.J. Brown? Drop it in the comment section and let me know. And if you're new here, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss a Midnight Green Mafia video. And once again, I've been Brother Shy, and this has been the Midnight Green Mafia.